Hello, fellow prospects and absolvers. This is my build, my full build for my Khalt school, which I finally made. These are my stats. My attributes are level 60, and they're a good fit for Khalt and Forsaken. Kind of a compromise between the two of them. Not quite ideal for either of them. Now let's go to my equipment to show you how I achieved this mobility. It's the lowest mobility that still allow for mid-speed side steps. If you go slower than this, then your side steps become really slow. And the number itself means that your stamina recovery is going to be slow, the lower your mobility is, and also the damage of some of the attacks. This piece of equipment isn't a special one. You don't see a white glow behind it, but it fits the rest of the equipment to get a good weight. This is also not the best option for blunt defense, so it has a little bit of cut defense slightly prioritized into it in case the enemy uses a sword that steals my sword. This is a sword I use, which is a very basic one. It has the S scaling with Forsaken and Stagger. Now let's get back to meditation to take a look at my decks. Keep in mind that if you join the school, you can use any deck you want separately. So if you don't want the unarmed deck, you can just use your own and still use my sword deck, which is really good because sword moves take quite a while to farm, so you would save yourself a lot of time by using my sword deck in case you like it. Now let's move to the actual deck. This is my unarmed deck. I'll try to walk you through the logic of it. So I have somewhat of a money combo that goes from this stance, the orthodox stance, into the back right, and then into the back left. And only two of the attacks are not horizontal. Only the jab, which is the first one, and the parry strike, which is the fourth one. And I will show you how it works. It usually catches people quite well. And it loops into itself. Now let's check this combo from my southpaw stance. It's my power combo. It has two charged attacks for bait, like they dodge the first, they think it's time to attack, then they eat the uppercut. And after the uppercut, they are usually desperate to sidestep, and that's when the wide hook catches them, and it loops into itself as well. Now for the logic of my alternate attacks. This one is a sidestepping attack, so you can use it off of the jab in case it try to respond with the jab, or in case it try to dodge your charged attack and respond with the jab, then you dodge your jab. And this one is a attack jump besides being the guard break. So if people are trying to hit you with sweep kicks, this is your strike. This one is attack crouch, extremely important. If people are spamming high attacks, especially the horizontal ones, and especially against a Khalt, this is your best bet. So you can block, adjust your stance to it, and fire back after a block. You can also do it off of Absorb quite well. And finally, this is a jackhammer punch, which is a double hit strike, and it's good for catching people trying to use charged attacks against you. The second hit breaks your super armor. Now let's move on to the setups from Absorb. You can do it off of a jab for sheer speed. This one is attack side. This one has super armor. This one is attack crouch. This one has a parry and sheer speed as well. My gloves deck is the same one as my unarmed deck. So you can actually use just one of them and then have the one as your own stuff. just to change things up on your enemy. Some people like to do that. And this is my sword deck. It has mostly cuts from Forsaken and Stagger because they scale well with the weapons, and especially Forsaken because it also scales well with Strength. Now let's take a look at this combo, which is the one for super armor. So if you're being pressured with your sword, just go for it. And it flows into the back right stance and then into the back left, and then it keeps looping between the back left and back right, all with horizontal attacks, high and low mix up. So if you're being pressured, you can block, absorb, and then go for the super armor, and this is the result. All horizontal, mix high and low. In my softball stance, I have this slow and very powerful attack, which is supposed to mix up with the alternate one, which is a fast attack that comes from the other side. Let's see now the rest of the moves. This one is a guard break, and it's very fast, so you can use it to counter charge attacks. And people really like to use charge attacks when you have a sword equipped. You can follow up quite well either with the attack crouch or with that low powerful attack. This one is attack crouch, very important. It's in a different stance from my unarmed deck, keep that in mind. And this is the money, keeping alternating between these two attacks. Very fast, catches, side stabs, and jabs. And you can then mix it up against Forsaken for that slower attack that comes from a different side. Remember that you can use the decks as you please, independently. And I hope this video has been useful to you and that you would like to join the school. It's time to show these tools being put to good use in an actual match. It was slightly laggy, but it was the best one I could get since yesterday. Enjoy!